I kind of want to skip over the Seattle game just because they were so
Yeah, me
comprehensively.
too.
Yeah, I mean they were comprehensively dominant. It was like
We're over it. Yeah, we're done
yeah.
with it. We're
Well,
done.
Old news.
Yeah.
I don't
The
even know.
biggest game in NFL season is this year. The NFC
Yes,
Championship that everybody wanted
yes.
to see with both teams healthy is here, right? And this game means a lot. It's not just another game. This is a game where you have to go out and make a statement to the NFL. And the 49ers understand what it's going to take. They have the individual players, the coaching staff, the scheme, and the philosophy and mentality to go into Philadelphia to Lincoln Stadium, and get the win. But like we've seen, resilient, Jalen Hurts, and that high-powered offense always comes through. But this isn't the same defense that they had last year, so the 49ers definitely have the edge.
So let me ask you this, because I said the biggest goal of the game, obviously the win, but you get one step closer to being the number one seed. That's the best tangible thing that you get going for you. But there is a psychological thing. How does this factor in if they win this game? Not just to the rest of the NFL, as you put it, but even to themselves and or Philly that, look, even if we have to come back here, we're fine.
Well, I remember having that psychological effect over the New Orleans Saints. Anytime we played them, we beat them up, knocked out all of their players. We got after Drew Brees, and even though they were running up and down the field on every other team in the NFL, scoring a gazillion points, they couldn't do that against us. And even in the playoffs against Drew Brees and, Jimmy Graham and all of those guys, I think that we knocked out every one of their players at some point in that game or in those series. The same with the Green Bay Packers and Aaron Rodgers. We had the psychological and the physical effect over those guys. And it's the same with the 49ers. If whoever wins this game and in the manner that they win it, they're going to have that psychological effect, whether the 49ers end up number 2 going into the playoffs or number 1 and have home field advantage. Going into another opponent's stadium, physically beating them up and on their home turf, it means a lot. And it'll mean a lot moving forward.
Talking to Donte Whitner here on the UMA guest line. Donte, Tom and I are both a little bit surprised, I think, with how drastically the Vegas line moved towards the 49ers. They opened as a 1-point underdog, now a 3-point favorite. Nick Sirianni was on a radio show this morning, or yesterday, I guess it was, in Philadelphia, talking about they like being the underdogs. We were kind of laughing at that, scoffing at it, saying the last time you met, you won. You're not the underdog here. But Vegas has them as underdog. Do you buy that as a motivating factor for this game?
I do. They've been getting by, and really, just coming through late and really preying on the opponent's mistakes. New England had them week 1. Washington had them in both games. They've had a lot of close ball games, even last week with the Buffalo Bills. If Davis catches that football, then, they go down again. The New York Jets beat them up where they turned the ball over 4 times. I think that it's coming to that point to where the 49ers are the team that have all the tools that are healthy, that's coming off a mini bye that can go out and expose this team. And what they're going to have to do is really get after Jalen Hurts, but not in a traditional way. They're going to have to really put it all together when they rush up front, and you almost have to slow play it. They have to go and take some of what Vic Fangio did when they played the Miami Dolphins and take what Bill Belichick did week 1. They slow played it. They didn't open up vertical seams and lateral seams. They made him play from the pocket, and then he struggled. So if they can do that, they can definitely win this game by not just 3 points. I think that they can win by 2-3 touchdowns.
How big a loss is not having Goddard to the Eagles?
Huge. It's huge. They utilized him pretty much as a wide receiver. A lot of the screen game, throwback screen game was Goddard. Yards after the catch, 5-yard breakouts versus nickels and outside linebackers. They would align him at any position at 1, 2, or 3, and they run bubble screens to him because they were that confident that he could get yards after the catch. And he was the outlet for Jalen Hurts when he got in trouble or made an improper read. Right now, you really only have 2 top pass receivers, and A.J. Brown, who has almost, I believe, 1,000 yards receiving and over 100 targets, and Devontae Smith. But if you can take these 2 guys away, take the explosive plays away from them, the deep comebacks and outs towards the sideline, they have to play all of the routes, even when it's a run play, as if it's an RPO. I think that the 49ers can be dominant against this offense.
Donte, I think there's two lines of thinking on the Eagles, because I hear what you guys are saying. I think the other side can be true too, where they have not won in the same capacity or in the same way with the same dominance the Niners have, but that almost makes it as impressive because it doesn't feel like – I don't feel like they're squeaking by. I feel like they're finding ways to win. Like, I feel like they're not – I know last game was a little bit different. The defense was on the field a whole lot for that game, played a lot of snaps, but Jalen Hurts finding ways to be victorious when he hasn't been 100% this year and was pretty banged up after that Jets game. That to me is what's somewhat of a concern. A team that has found ways to win in multiple ways and has success in the backfield that they did not have last year. The Niners didn't see Swift in the NFC title game.
Yeah, and what you're describing in a nutshell is resilience. And that's what you want to see from your team, especially at a certain point in the season when you're supposed to be accelerating and getting better in each aspect of the game. And that's what great teams do. But you have to have a number of players that have been through the fire that can take the opposition's best each and every week. And the 49ers have been accustomed to dealing with this for a number of years now. Guys like Fred Warner and George Kittle, these guys have been groomed and really built the culture to be able to handle a team's best shot week in and week out. I just think that with Philadelphia and the way that their defense is playing, and their secondary is below average, guys, they really strictly depend on the front four and Jalen Carter and Hassan Reddick and Sweat to really get pressure, to take pressure off of those guys back there. But even Darius Slay, he's given up big plays, and receivers have gotten behind him for explosive plays. Bradbury, I agree with Deebo Samuel. He's a below-average corner, and they get him on an island, they can really expose him on their side. And if you can step up in the pocket for Brock Purdy and evade the rush to create just an extra bit of separation, there's a lot of room over the middle of that field because they play a lot of man coverage. So, yeah. I think that they have done well with being resilient and coming through. But when you play a team as strong as the 49ers, a fresh 49er team off a half a bye week after 2 winning streaks after going through the fire earlier this season, I just think that they're going to see a different monster than what they've seen all year long.